back to the channel and some more Blood and Plunder commander reviews here. We're picking up on some of the Spanish commanders that we had accidentally skipped over while we were initially going through our series here. So today we're going to take a look at Mateo Perez de Garay, and he's one of the higher costed ones here, but he's also pretty dang good. So he's coming in at 30 points. Now he is going to be tied to leading the Armada de Barlovento. And again, check out our separate video on that, just more focused on the force overall, not so much the commander here. Today we're taking a look specifically at him, just as a quick overview of what he brings to the table and should we run him. So it comes with a pistol and the standard melee weapon. Would have been nice to see the brace of pistols, but that's okay. Has a fantastic command range of 16 inches, so that's going to cover tons of real estate on the table. We always like to see something like that. And then also, of course, the 3 command points that we typically get with most of the named characters. And comes with a nice package of abilities as well. So whether we're fighting on the water or on land, he's going to be pretty solid. So very inspiring. We've seen that across several commanders. Obviously, just basically, inspiring is always good. We want to see that in a lot of the commanders, but very inspiring is going to be taking that one level further, but basically helping us maximize those command points with rallies and things like that, and keeping the force in the fight as much as possible. Now we switch, they got 2 sailing related or naval related abilities here. So broadside we've covered many a times. Now he has expert broadside, which is again sort of a higher level of that. So we have basically the ability to roll all of our shots into one and hopefully cause more crits. And again, when we're fighting on the water, we always want to damage the enemy ships as much as possible, of course, but we're really hoping to get some crits in there because those can be absolutely devastating and make it so that in some cases they really can't fight back, which then lets you just kind of pick them apart as needed. And you can cause just other things that will keep them occupied as well. So things like fires, right? Chance of that spreading, like a leak or anything like that, flooding, right? So that can spread too. We can also do things like damage their rigging, their sails, their steering, and stuff like that. And then if we need to, we can hopefully maneuver into an opportune position where they can't really return fire as effectively. So any form of broadside really is fantastic to have. Sailing master as well gives us a chance to do more advanced maneuvers, but with a cost there. We'll talk about that in a second. If we end a turn, or activation rather, with any amount of fatigue and we didn't push or gain any fatigue during that activation, we can remove a point at the end of that activation. That's always nice to have. Anytime we can get free actions, essentially, we can increase that economy of those actions because we only get a limited amount throughout the whole game, and obviously we're kind of at the mercy most of the time of what cards we draw as well. So we have that to thank too, so that can help out quite a bit with his unit. And again, if we can keep him active as long as possible, that will be great. Now, he has a special ship too, so if we include a galleon or the flute, it gains the heavily built ship trait, and basically if the ship takes no damage from an attack, lucky hits from that attack are ignored. So really powerful stuff there. So not always that we get like a unique named ship or other like special unit essentially with a commander. So a lot of times we see swamps and stuff like that with the commanders or the forces, but here we're actually getting a special ship. So then let's double check on the very specifics here. So with very inspiring, all friendly units within the command range of this commander may reroll any failed rally test. So again, we talked earlier about the just huge command range and what that means for coverage across the field. So always going to be very relevant there in getting the most out of those 3 command points paired with that fantastic command range. Okay, and then briefly, as we mentioned, there is potentially a downside with Sailing Master, right? If we exceed our normal top speed, we do have to apply a lucky hit against ourselves, so potentially annoying, if not inconvenient. But again, we're kind of pushing our luck there to, pun intended, to modify our maneuverability with the ship. And then we move on. We mentioned tough again, so basically if we didn't acquire any fatigue and we didn't push, right, we can essentially heal up in that sense as far as removing that for free, right, which means we can free up those command points for other things ideally. So then for expert broadside, again, just like regular broadside, we roll all the shots into one. But if we happen to roll a one for the critical or lucky hit, we actually get a free reroll out of that, and we'll take free rerolls of any kind all day long. So all in all, for 30 points, this guy is a beast. Comes with his own special ship potentially as well. So really good stuff here. Let us know, guys, in the comments if you've run Mateo Perez de Garay and how those games have gone. What typically point size do you tend to bring him in? Obviously, you got to factor that in if we're going to be including the galleon or the flute. There's going to be some larger games involved because those aren't cheap to fully kit out. So hit us up in the comments. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll have more for you soon.